What are some common signs that someone grew up with shitty parents? They don't understand simple gestures of kindness. Took my husband a long time to understand that my parents liked giving little gifts to people and doing things for them. That they weren't trying to insult him or us or make us feel incompetent. They were just showing affection. Going into random panic mode when something insignificant goes sideways. Doesn't talk about their interests because parents have never showed interest, belittled them. A lack of self-esteem. Shows up in so many different ways. My sir basically told me that I make her worry because I don't boss her around. Which leaves her always wondering if I'm disappointed in her or if I feel she's not being a good girlfriend. If I boss her around and she follows my commands, then she knows she's done what she's been told and has nothing to worry about. This has become less of an issue over the years. I refuse to boss her around. I try to show appreciation instead and remind her that I love her. But she still worries she's not good enough sometimes, and I hate that. I don't blame her. But I hate it more than anything. I feel she's never been good enough for her parents, which has left her vulnerable to date guys who take advantage of that and also made her feel like she's not good enough. People who try way too hard to please and are terrified to put themselves first. This is the saddest trait because it's the easiest for fresh predators to take advantage of when the parents are out of the picture. If only terrible parents knew or cared that they were grooming their kids for future abuse. Edit. Putting yourself first in this context does not mean being selfish or narcissistic. It means having the capacity to set healthy boundaries. It means understanding that your opinions have merit, that your emotions matter, that you should have complete bodily autonomy, and that you shouldn't fear the wrath of Zeus if you say no. When they think they always cause problems for others, and when they are emotionally and socially closed off, so it's very hard for them to be more sociable. etc. Edit. Thanks for the awards and making my day better lol. Not being able to remember the majority of their childhood. I'm talking about huge gaps of time you just cannot recall. I get it. Repressing the memories is just the mind trying its best to protect itself. They go out of their way to please people. They can't take compliments because they are so used to being put down. They flinch if they hear someone raise their voice or at loud noises. Edit. I'm going to add in the fact that they are not good/uncomfortable with conflict, even if they are not directly involved, because they inevitably get dragged into the conflict when their parents are arguing. They're a desperate people pleaser. Someone who'll leap to the aid of anyone. Who'll give up anything they have so that someone else doesn't miss out. Who will go well out of their way to be of assistance, and who abhors needing any help themselves. They lie. Lies specifically for avoiding conflict. Actually, I changed my answer to avoiding conflict. It's avoidance until an explosion. It's all they know. Control freak. They grew up in chaos, alcoholism, gambling, foreclosure, and are obsessed with averting some unforeseen disaster. They are completely unwilling to open up and share anything because in their experience it will always be used against them. They don't form attachments to others. They grew up in an environment where such attachments were a negative and or resulted in negative outcomes. They are always trying to figure out what they did wrong and what they are supposed to be doing and how, while editing their own thoughts and feeling vaguely bad. They get attached way too quickly to anyone that shows the bare minimum of human empathy. Is this how I write it? Towards them. They have unstable relationships. Struggle in social situations. Weren't taught basic household tasks. Get nervous when someone raises their voice. Don't know how to apologize or apologize for things they shouldn't apologize for. Struggle with intimacy/physical touch. Are often people pleasers. I knew a kid who'd instinctively cover his head whenever someone was behind him, and he'd refuse to sit or stand anywhere that didn't have his back to a wall. His older siblings beat him up regularly. He'd frequently be coming to school with fresh bruises, and when a girl tried to comfort him, he thought she was just trying to lure him into a trap and hit her, which got him expelled, and growing up I'd see him around town. He dropped out of school completely and got into drugs. His parents never gave a shit. Never. Not fucking once. He had nothing because his older brothers would steal and destroy anything he ever owned. Even his clothes, so he'd wear the same thing for weeks on end. Is it any surprise that he's been in and out of prison all his adult life? Parental apathy is fucking shit. And to add a cherry on top, his abusive older brothers went on to live pretty happy fulfilling lives. But the little brother they tortured and abused for years became the societal and family outcast. They tell traumatized stories and think they are happy memories. They suck at apologizing. Either they apologize for every small little thing because their parents made them feel guilty just for existing, or they never apologize at all, or only apologize insincerely because admitting you are wrong is a sign of weakness. Semicolon. Semicolon. Edit. Virtual hugs to everyone commenting and feeling represented by this. What happened to us during our childhoods was cruel. No one should have had to live through that. For the people that were asking about me, I'm in a much better place now. But in my down times, I still mourn for the childhood that I never had. Paranoia. The inability to trust others and obsessively overthinking every conversation they have. Also speaking from a personal perspective, people that grew up with toxic parents continue to question their sanity and reality here and there from the continuous gaslighting.